Hi, welcome to Candlelight Restorative. Today, if you'd like, come and be either on a mat or if you like, is what I meant, if you like, be on some kind of carpet or something really soft, just as a way to kind of change up how you usually practice and hopefully bring a little more softness. That you don't have to do this, and maybe you don't have like this is sheepskin, but if you have just a blanket or anyway, something that could be like slightly more cozy than usual, please consider, bringing that in. And then as soon as you're ready, come and begin just for a short time in child's pose. And if you don't already know, if you want to light a candle, go ahead. I've lit the candle here for us, but you can also certainly do that or keep your lights very dim. I do highly recommend that you keep your lights dim or even just candlelight if you can. With your feet together, or really just the big toes touching, knees wide, go ahead and fold forward into a child's pose. And you can have something under your head if you don't want to take your head all the way to the floor. The reason that I'd like you to start this way is so that you can hopefully relax and be comfortable right here in the beginning. It's a 30-minute practice, so it's short practice. And so there's a great opportunity to really focus on what you're doing and move deeply into your own body, your own awareness, and relax as much as you can. In child's pose, please feel with your attention and then your sensitivity, your low back, the back waist, and breathe with awareness of the breath coming in and going out of the low back. Or at least that there's breath or sensitivity coming to the back waist, the low back, that part of you that's exposed to the room, that is kind of opening up on the inhalation and releasing towards the ground on the exhalation. So you can include awareness of your belly in the front of the body as you do this, but I'm talking about bring your awareness to the lower back part of the body, which is a part of ourselves that we don't see that often and that we don't focus on. Your legs, let them be comfortable. You can adjust if they are uncomfortable and adjust your arms so that they're not working, that they're passive. And just be here, breathing with awareness, noticing the lower portion of your torso and letting your head, the forehead in particular, really lean down into whatever your forehead is touching. If your eyes are all the way closed, you can keep them closed now or as much as possible or as much as you'd like during class. When you're ready now, in the next few moments, come up onto your hands and knees. And when you come up onto your hands and knees, I want you just to first feel the position, the change from being in that more reclining into this position. And then take your left hand and draw it under your right arm and take your left shoulder to the floor. So hopefully this is a gentle spinal twist for you as you thread your arm underneath, one arm underneath the other and take your shoulder to the floor. And I'm showing that it's the left arm that's threading through. The pelvis, the buttocks is high. The right hand is gently resting on the floor. Turning the torso, eyes closed, or maybe they're open. Being aware of your breath. Then, as you're ready, push your right hand firm into the floor to help lift you up and take both hands to the floor. You're back on your hands and your knees. You don't really have to open your eyes all the way or even look at the screen unless you want to. When you're ready, the right arm tucks through, kind of threads through. I think that's usually how it's referred to. The right arm, but I hope I said that right. The right arm threads through beyond the left and the right shoulder's on the floor. So you should feel a spinal twist in your upper torso, the head's resting on the floor, the buttocks is high. Breathe, relax your belly. Take the support of the floor, the parts of you that's touching the floor, especially the shoulder and the side of your head. And then when you're ready, push your hands into the floor using some arm strength. Draw yourself back up into your hands and knees. And just very gently, I'd like you to lift up into the cow position where the belly is kind of dropping down, the chin is lifting up. And then when you're ready, come back into cat position where you're arching your spine up towards the ceiling. You can round your low back a little bit, even as you tuck your tailbone in between your legs. Push the floor away, tuck your chin. And when you're ready, inhale and open up into the cow position and exhale into the cat position. It's just a couple of these. I want you to practice, or at least have an intention of practicing this cat and cow right now, really slowly and easily. Almost as if you're not making much effort at all to move, but at the same time, allowing yourself to move just enough so that you can open up into the back bend and the forward bend, which is basically what cat and cow is. Moving the spine, lubricating the spine, taking it easy. And then whenever you get to it, look up one last time and then draw in one last time, whenever that is for you. And then come back to neutral and come back into child's position, rest. And from resting, when you're ready, roll over onto your back. So you're just kind of wiggling around, coming onto your back, bend your legs, feet on the floor, let your arms meet your sides and palms down. So you may know that I usually almost always say palms up. That's just to help you keep the upper torso, chest, shoulder area open. But right now, palms down, because I want you to feel very solid and like very base here on the floor. Palms down, feet firm, legs are bent. And just take it easy. Just take it easy. It's so rare that we really take the time to be awake and be still and be on the floor or on the ground somewhere, and just being with that. When you're ready, without much change, let the legs drop over to the right. Sometimes what this is it's like windshield wipers. So take the legs back up and drop them over to the left, or anyway, the other side. So just go ahead and do this movement, being with the mentality that you have curiosity about how it feels to have your thighs and your knees move in space, what's going on with the belly and the low back. And keeping in mind, just wanting to repeat, keeping in mind that this is like a restful, gentle, restorative practice. It's not the same as other times when we practice. So just a few more, maybe one more, maybe ending soon. So make sure that you are even on both sides with this windshield wiper kind of action. And then bring the legs back up so that the feet are on the floor, legs are bent. When you're ready, draw the legs in towards your torso. So don't use your arms. Arms are totally passive, torso's passive, thighs falling into the torso, the belly. Then extend your legs up in the air and flex your feet. So you could be wearing socks. I'm wearing like lots of warm clothes just so that I keep like as much heat in my body as possible. So however you are is fine as long as you're comfortable. Flex your feet, pull the toes down towards you, and then do like a little moonwalk where you're walking back and forth, moving your legs forward and back with flexed feet. And then go ahead and point the toes. And then just come back to neutral and let your legs fall open like a V, any amount that you want. And then draw them back up to the center. And then draw your legs a little bit down, right? And so you're going to make these wide circular shapes like a V, but not like the deepest, right? Not the deepest you could do, but you're going to make circles with both of your legs, keeping your low back on the floor, engaging your abdominal muscles. So your low back is pressing, back waist is pressing onto the floor the whole time, and you're making these circles with your legs. Just nice, easy movement, hopefully easy. And then when you get back, whenever it is back to the starting position, I want you to go the other way. So you're making circles the opposite way. Being curious and interested as to what this feels like. Going slow enough that there's both ease and an ability to be with all the parts of the movement that you're doing. And then when you get back around this time or the next time to that beginning position, let your legs bend and let the thighs fall in towards your torso. Still no arm, you're not using your arms. And then let the left foot fall down into the floor and then the right. So both feet are on the floor. Straighten the right leg all the way out. Draw the left leg into your body. Still no arms. And then draw the left knee over towards the right. And you can take your right hand and hold the left leg down. Turn from right to left, and then stretch the left arm out to the left, like out from your left shoulder. Then along the line of the floor, stretch your left arm up overhead. So the right leg is extending out towards the right foot, and the left arm is extending up on the floor, up from the shoulder, left hand up from the shoulder. So right leg, left arm are straight, and you're turning your torso from right to left, turning your neck and head and looking left. Be aware of your breathing. And when you're ready now, inhale and come back into that lying on your back position with the left leg bent. So you're inhaling, the left foot comes to the floor, arms are at your sides. You can adjust so that you're like in the center here, and then straighten the left leg. So both legs are straight right now. Let your legs separate so they're like a little bit apart. You're not, skin of the legs is not touching one another. Legs are separate on the floor. Rest on the floor. And then extend out through both legs. Reach out through your heels, flex your feet, adjust your legs now so that the feet are just extending out from the hips, from the pelvis. They're not wider than the pelvis. And draw your right leg in towards your torso. And then draw the right knee over towards the left, and you can take your left hand and hold the right leg down. Turn and twist from left to right, stretch your right arm out from the right shoulder. So straighten the left leg, extend out through the right arm, and then take the right arm along the floor so that the right hand eventually is aligned up from the shoulder over the top of your head. Right arm is straight, left leg is straight, and they're extending away from each other. Hold the right knee to the floor and turn and twist from left to right. You can turn your head and look to the right. Breathe freely and breathe with awareness. And when you're ready, inhale and you draw the right leg back up towards your chest, and eventually it touches the floor. And when you're ready, whenever that is, you can let the right leg slide out. And then now both legs are straight, legs are apart. Maybe they're a little wider than before. They're more like the bottom of the letter X. So they're kind of wide apart, the legs and the feet. And then take your arms when you're ready overhead, and they're the upper part of the letter X. So you're lying here with your arms and legs on the floor, extending, making more or less the letter X with the limbs. Okay, good. And then relax your arms down towards your sides. Let's just do one back bend, not too much work, but it's a little bit of work. But I think it'll be good right now for you. Lift your pelvis up and take your hands underneath your torso, palms down. So this is like fish Matsyasana. Stretch your leg. This is the name of the pose. Point your toes. And then when you're ready, tuck your arms under your shoulders, come up onto your forearms, let your head draw back and be here. Sternum, chest lifting, forearms, palms pressing down. Extend your legs just a bit. Eyes can be open or closed. And there's an affirmation in this one that is my soul floats on waves of cosmic light. My soul floats on waves of cosmic light. And then slowly unwind and come all the way down. And you can rest just for a moment, palms up at your sides. Good. And then you can bend your legs and roll over to one side and come up. So I want you to come into back bend. So you can take one, hopefully you have some blocks. I know you do, Cynthia. So one block is on the medium height, one is on the high height, or whatever you have. For sure though, you do need a block that's like this for under the shoulder blades, or anyway, something firm. So it is the supported back bend that I do teach a lot. I think it's so good, and I feel like it's a bit easy to get in and out of. I mean, you have to use props, but it's not too complicated to like move the props around. So with your legs bent, your hands behind you, extend the torso and come lying down so that your shoulder blades are on the block, and then adjust so that your head is on the taller block or whatever you have. It could be a stack of pillows. Rest with your arms at your sides, and then when you're ready, you straighten your legs. So be here in this position, which should feel very comfortable. And sometimes if it doesn't feel comfortable, it usually means the block underneath your shoulder blades isn't under your shoulder blades. It's either high on the shoulder blades or it's too low. So just adjust that and let the tops of your shoulders fall between your head and the shoulder blades, and then the palms up, and then you can close your eyes or you can keep them open a little and just be very, very still and observe what happens to your body and to your mind, the thoughts in your mind, your brain, as you become very still. And stillness comes more easily when you're comfortable. So feel comfortable with the support of the props and the floor, and maybe if you're on something soft, that also helps feel like you can be comfortable and relax. And then I'll be quiet for a very short time so that you can go more inward. You can go deep into your own awareness and practice. Be aware of your facial muscles, soft and relaxed, the forehead broad. You can stay here a little bit longer, but I'm going to come out. When you're ready to come out, bend one leg and roll over to the side. And just take your time coming up. This next one is, well, whenever you're ready for the next one, it's a version of Setu Bandha or bridge pose. So I'd like you to do it today, if you can, with a bolster. And if you don't have a bolster, you can use blankets. And in fact, this bolster is a little low. I want some more height. So I'm going to put some folded blanket on top of it. I suggest that too, if you have it. So what's going to happen is you're going to lay your torso over the bolster, and your shoulders, your neck and head are going to be off, and they're going to be on the floor. And added props you can use for this are, if you want, with your legs straight, make sure you can see this, you can have your feet up on some blocks. You know, that candle's there, but so it's just so that you'll see if you don't know it, you'll see when I come into it. So I'm here, and I'm gonna lay down, and then you just come off just enough off the prop so the head, neck, and shoulders are on the floor. And then you can extend your legs if you want so that your heels or the feet are on the blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can just extend your legs. So come into this. I'm going to say a few more things just in case you're not quite clear on what it is. Mostly in this pose, what you want is for your torso to be up on the bolster, as if your torso is the bolster And so it's all just laying on there, and then just barely you're having your shoulders come off so that they're on the floor. So it's like shoulder stand or like bridge pose when you do that alone. And the back of the neck, my neck isn't touching the floor, but the back of my neck is long. And then my head's on the floor. My chin is tucked in a little bit towards the chest. So it's Jalandhara Bandha, neck lock positioning. And then just have your hands palms up on the sides, arms on the sides of you, or you can play around with what it feels like with the palms down. The palms up allows your shoulders to rotate open, broadens and opens and lifts your chest. So then relax. This is an inversion, which we haven't done today except for a little bit. The child's pose sometimes can be an inversion. But right now the head's lower than the heart, so it shifts the nervous system into one that's much quieter. It's a positioning where the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system really become very, very quiet. Breathe easily, relax your four limbs, soften your face. All right, be aware of your breathing and deepen your breath just a little bit, not too much, just so that there's a little bit more movement with the breathing than what's normally happening right now. And that's because I want you to prepare yourself to come out of the position. So when you're ready, you can bend one leg and let that foot touch the ground or your bolster, whatever you want. And then let the other leg bend and that foot's on the floor. So be here with the feet on the floor, legs bent. And then go ahead and slide over to one side to come out. And you can rest on one side. And then when you're ready, use your arms to help you lift yourself up all the way. Good. So then what I'd like you to do is a forward bend. So if you know a forward bend with support that you like, you can take it. But otherwise, I'm going to suggest that you sit up on a couple of blankets. And you have this nice prop that you were already working with, some kind of prop like this. And stretch your legs out like a V shape, so they're a little bit wide. And then pull your props, the bolster. I'm just gonna say bolster, even if it's like blankets or something else, pillows. Pull the bolster in so it's near the torso, and then fold yourself forward and rest your head. If this kind of setup is way too low for you, then you could lean over like the side of your bed or use a couch, or you could use a chair or something to put your head up on. Maybe I'll show that. But come into it right away. Chair works really nice, but there isn't anything on your belly when you use a chair. But do rest forward. Totally relax and lean into your forward bend and let your body feel comfortable and let your body feel that it's comforted by the position that you're taking. Soft, easy, smooth breathing. Being aware of your breath, breathe a little more deeply, just so that there's more movement with your breath, more movement on the body. And then as you're ready, use your arms in such a way that they can help you lift yourself all the way back upright, which likely will feel very deep after being in that forward bend and also all the other poses before that one. And then if you feel like you need to lay down, then lay down. Otherwise, come up to sitting and do sit up on some blankets or something. Your shoulders up over your pelvis. Sit with your legs crossed or whatever's comfortable for you. Hands palms down somewhere on your legs. Close your eyes. And sitting upright, be comfortable. Focus your attention on your third eye. You don't have to look there, but the attention is that place between the eyebrows and a little bit in. So you're kind of drawing the energy up as you focus there. Breathing smoothly and easily. Gentle, quiet concentration, which is your meditation practice right now. And if you'd like to continue to sit in this quiet stillness, being aware of your breathing and your relaxed body and upright sitting position of the body, awareness there, and focusing on your third eye, please stay longer. I'll end the recording in a moment. Thank you very much. Be well.